People receive 85% of information about the world by sight. The human eye is an extremely complex organ. The eye is sometimes called the external brain. Each part of the body is projected on the iris. Every organ corresponds to a part of the visible spectrum. Various wavelengths of light excite or inhibit the corresponding organ, harmonize its function, which in turn contributes to a normal state. Let's talk about colors, which stimulate certain bodily organs. Red spectrum affects the reptilian brain, sex glands, adrenal glands, spine skeleton, bones, teeth, and nails, the whole bowel, prostate and gonads, blood and cell structures. Orange range affects the gonads, the testes, prostate, lymphatic system, pelvis, kidneys, gallbladder, muscles, and lymph fluids. Yellow range affects the cortex of the brain, pancreas and adrenal glands, respiratory system and diaphragm, digestive system, stomach, pancreas, liver, spleen, gallbladder, small intestine, adrenal glands, lower back, and the sympathetic nervous system. Green spectrum affects the thymus, heart, circulatory system, lungs, immune system, upper back, and wrists. Blue spectrum affects the thyroid and parathyroid glands, throat, neck, vocal cords, and the speech organs. The jaw, superior part of the lungs, ears, muscles, and nerves. Blue spectrum affects the brain and all its parts, the central nervous system, face, eyes, ears, nose, sinuses. Purple spectrum affects the brain and pineal gland. Color affects not only the projection of the organs and systems of the iris, but also the pituitary gland. The pituitary gland produces hormones that control the body. Sometimes the levels are too high or low. With the help of color, the production of hormones can be increased or decreased accordingly, which can save people from pathological conditions. Let's talk about the main hormones in our body and what they are responsible for and how hazardous their excess or deficiency is. Norepinephrine or epinephrine are stress hormones. They control the pace of the heartbeat, thermoregulators, and speed of thinking. The consequences of deficiencies include lack of energy, depression, and fatigue. One of the effects of excess is irritability. Dopamine is the pleasure hormone. The consequences of a lack thereof are apathy, unhappiness, and uncertainty. The effects of excess include an immoderate passion for food. Endorphin is a natural tranquilizer and painkiller. It decreases stress reaction, accelerates the healing of wounds and fractures, reduces appetite. The consequences of deficiency are depression, frequent illness, long healing of wounds. One effect of excess is reduced critical perception. Serotonin is a mood hormone. As well as social, it controls behavior in society. It is responsible for cognition, movement, muscle tone, self-control, and stability. The consequences of high levels of euphoria and the inability to assess risk. Consequences of low levels are sensitivity, depression, suicide. Phenolphthaleamine is a hormone of love. It is responsible for sympathy, emotional warmth. The consequences of lack of it are coldness, inability to experience interest, and sympathy. The effects of excess levels are amorousness and indiscriminate contact. Oxytocin is responsible for affection and trust. It is provided by body contact, stroking, hugging. The consequences of deficiency are lack of affection and a sense of kinship and proximity. Children orphaned at birth have decreased levels of oxytocin. Melatonin is the sleep hormone, the regulator of all hormones. It is responsible for the internal body clock. It is a serotonin antagonist. The consequences of a lack include insomnia, impaired daily and seasonal rhythms, and general decline. The effects of excess are drowsiness and lethargy. Estrogens, female sex hormones. The main hormone is estradiol. Estrogens are responsible for the formation of secondary sexual characteristics in women: calmness, memory, improvement, mood, and overall health. The consequences of shortcomings: less feminine form, worsening of mood, severe depression, osteoporosis. The effects of excess are changes to the feminine form and lightening of hair. Androgens are male sex hormones. The main male hormone is testosterone. Testosterone is responsible for libido, increased aggressiveness, and irritability. In men, androgens are also responsible for the formation of secondary sexual characteristics. The consequences of a lack thereof are decreased libido in both sexes and underdeveloped genitals in men. It causes excessive aggressiveness in women, pregnancy complications, and excess hair growth. To summarize, color affects the projection of organs on the iris and the pituitary gland. With color, you can adjust the function of organs and hormone secretion, correct the disruption of biological rhythms, improve mood and psychological state, lose weight, relax, and dive into a pleasant slumber. In fact, color correction can solve almost any problem of modern man.